Hey guys, welcome back to Woods Trading Fishing. I'm Preston, and today's video we're doing frog fishing. So we're going to talk about frog fishing today. It's the heat of the summer. You know, there's a lot of different frogs that you can throw, but right now, you know, with it being hot, July, the fish are starting to move underneath grass mats, and you know, frog is, in my opinion, one of the best lures to throw from now until basically until it gets cold in, you know, around November is when they kind of stop biting it. There's, I mean, everywhere in Alabama you can throw a frog at any lake you go to this time of year. The water's up, you know, there's a lot of heavy cover, you know, it's summertime, grass is growing, bushes are growing. I mean, you can throw a frog in any type of heavy, shallow cover. You know, one of the best lakes to do it, in my opinion, is Guntersville, throwing it over the top of grass mats, you know, around docks can be really good. And yeah, like I said, that's really a good place to do it. Usually, when you're talking about a frog, a lot of people think throw a frog color, and I'm just here to tell you, in my opinion, and a lot of people I talk to, that usually you're imitating a bluegill, brim, or shad. Not really. I mean, you can throw a frog color, and yeah, like I've caught fish on just bright green frog colors, but most of the time they're feeding on bluegill or shad. So I'll tell you kind of our favorite colors here that we stock at Woods, and there's many different types of frogs as well. If you were to come here and look at our frog section, it is just vast. I mean, there's many different sizes, colors, shapes. I mean, it can be overwhelming if you're just getting into it, you don't really know what to throw, but that's what today's video is for, is to tell you kind of, you know, give you many different options for the situation that you're dealt with, but also one frog to choose, in my opinion. If I were to choose one, I'll tell you what that one is. I'll tell you the setups to throw it on, you know, how to use it, all that kind of stuff. So let's dive into it. So there's 4 categories of frogs. You got just a regular walking frog, you've got a popping frog, you've got a swimming frog, and then you've got just kind of a 4th option, a downsized frog. And those are the 4 main categories. I've grabbed a couple of each, in my opinion, that I prefer, that I think is good. So, you know, number 1, the walking frog. A couple different options here. SPRO, you'll hear me talk about SPRO a lot. It's the most popular brand out there. This is the SPRO Bronzeye 65 in Killer Gill. So this is a walking frog here, and you know, by walking I just mean walking, you twitch your rod, it's walking back and forth. It's really good for throwing over the top of grass mats because it goes through the cover really well. You know, it's a good one. Killer Gill is my favorite color, and that SPRO makes. And then another good one for that one is Nories. It's the NF60 frog. This one's a little more high quality. It's going to be a little more high priced, but it walks really well. I mean, it walks like no other that I've seen. It's very soft, which means usually you want softer frogs for better hook sets. It's got at the top of it's a concave design, which helps when the fish bite it, gets it a little bit easier. Especially in that thick cover, maybe they're busting through the mat, and a lot of times it can be frustrating when it's really thick mats and the fish are busting through. A lot of times they'll miss the frog, or they won't bite down on it good. So having that concave design that Nories makes in that frog and the softer body really helps a lot with hook sets. So those are the 2 I'd suggest for the walking frog. And that's the bigger body frog that you can bomb out there really far. You know, in the fall at Guntersville, those real thick, vast grass mats that you're wanting to bomb that frog out there. If a fish blows up way out and you can't reach them good with a smaller frog, that's when you want that bigger one. You want a longer rod, which we'll get into that here in a second as well. So that kind of covers that category, the walking frog. Now, if I were to choose one frog that I would choose in all situations, no matter where I'm fishing, and this is the exact frog, the exact color that I use, just like the walk-in SPRO frog that I mentioned, same color, Killer Gill. This is the Pop 60 that SPRO makes in Killer Gill. It's just a good all-around frog in my opinion. That popping commotion that it makes just really attracts the fish, and it still walks really well. Popping frogs do, but it's just a good all-around frog. And that Killer Gill color is just a good mix between a shad and a brim or bluegill. So that's a very good option there. Now, another good popping frog is and you've heard it in a lot of our videos, we've talked about it, is the Berkley Swamp Lord. This one is a green pumpkin color, but they make many other great colors, shad, bluegill, frog colors. And this one is just a softer, you can actually feel it in the package how soft it is. It's just a great option. This is one of our one of our best selling frogs actually. It's the Popping Swamp Lord. So I would highly suggest either one of those two popping frogs. If you were to choose one all around frog, popping frog's the way to go. And it does really well in like more sparse cover when it's not as thick. Like I said, in the fall when it gets thick, I'd probably go with that walking frog. But this time of year, popping frog is really well. And I keep mentioning Guntersville, but any Coosa River lake that's got grass, ponds can be really good. I mean, grass is growing really good in the summer, especially with all the rain that we've had. That's kind of getting it growing a little bit. That's great. But also like shallow cover, docks, bushes, laydowns, just beating the bank. I mean, in any shallow shade that the fish like to relate to. Another great third category here is the kicking frog or swimming frog. So one of my favorites, SPRO once again. This is the Flapping Frog 65. It's got kicking legs on it, so it actually floats. So you can work it like you would any of the other two previous options I mentioned. Since it floats, you can work it slow like those, or you can just straight reel it. What I like to do is kind of just reel it or twitch it a couple times, stop it, and then maybe start reeling it in, and just kind of, it's a versatile frog, so you can see how they like it. Maybe they want it faster, maybe they want it slower, sometimes extremely slow. So just gotta kind of test the waters and see how the fish want it. But that one, I like Albino, because usually when I'm reeling a frog, it's gonna be imitating a shad. So he's wanting to get away, it's a shad, especially in the fall when they're feeding on those bigger shad. So Albino's a great color in that. This one is actually softer than other SPRO frogs. It's made out of Elastec material, so it's very stretchy, and it's got great hooks on it as well. So like I said, softer, fish bite down on it better. It's a great hookup ratio. Another one, we actually just got these in, it's the Hag's Outlier frog. This one is a bone color, so it's got kicking legs on it as well. So that's just a good option there for another kicking frog. Comes in like 7 different colors here. So kicking frog, third option. That's definitely a great option. The fourth one, usually when the fish are feeding on smaller bait fish, or maybe the fish are pressured, like later in the year, they've seen a lot of the bigger frogs, downsizing can be a great option. So 2 options here. SPRO Bronzeye 60 rather than the 65. This is the Bronzeye, this is the junior series. So this color, Killer Gill, once again. This is actually one of my favorite frogs in the fall, downsizing. So that's a good one there for sure. And it still weighs a good bit that you can bomb it out, weighs half an ounce, so it's heavy enough to cast. This one here is a very popular one from Jackall. It's the Kaera frog. So this one is a small body, 2.2 inches long, very small. This is a glitter Hasu color. Still, like the SPRO, weighs half an ounce, so it's heavy enough to cast. It's still got good hooks on it. But the Jackall Kaera is a very great downsized frog, especially because still it being small, a lot of frogs, when they're smaller, they don't walk as well. This one here still has that great walking action, great hooks, like I said. So those are the 4 categories of frogs. So what to throw them on? We'll keep it simple here. Power Pro braid is the best braid in my opinion. You got 2 options, Power Pro, but keeping it simple, 50 pound. 50 pound test is what I throw day in and day out. This is the standard Power Pro in moss green. It's a little, the average option that most people throw. It's a rougher braid. If you don't like that roughness, I would go with the Super Slick in the same dark green, moss green color. The slicker is good for casting. So if they're really far out there, like I mentioned in the fall, you need that bigger frog to bomb it out, I would suggest the slicker braid because it helps with that casting distance. So that's kind of the 2 options I would suggest for the line. And then both are very abrasion resistant, and 50 pounds plenty heavy enough. So 50 pound, a lot of people, if you're just getting into fishing, when you hear 50 pound, you're like, well, I'm not gonna catch a 50 pound bass. That's not what that means. So 50 pound braid is actually a 12 pound diameter compared to other fishing lines. So just to give you an idea, it's thinner. So you wanna upgrade your pound test, and it's not too thick for fish to be scared away, especially when you're throwing a frog. They're not gonna see that line anyway because it's on top of that grass. So the heavier line, the better. And if you wanted to go to 65 pound, hey, that's good too. But 50 is just, in my opinion, the best all around because it's thin enough to where you can still cast it very far. So let's get into the rod and reel options. So you got 3 options here. 3 that I picked, combos that I put together. One's a very budget friendly, one's kind of that middle ground, and then one's a kind of higher price point. So the budget friendly option is a Tatula XT from Daiwa, the rod. This one is a 7.4 heavy. So these rods retail at $99. It's one of our best selling rods for the money. We sell a ton of these, and it's a great, Daiwa's a great brand, Tatula's a great name. It's just a good product. So I put this is our best selling reel, the Shimano SLX, $99. So this is a $200 combo, which is a great option for frog fishing. 7:2 to 1 gear ratio is what I throw on my frogs. You can go quicker if you'd like. A lot of people like that 8-to-1 to catch up to them if they're running to the boat, or just to get them in the boat quickly. So that is a good option as well. But just 7.2 is a good overall gear ratio. So Tatula XT, Shimano SLX, $200 combo. It's a great starter combo for anything that if you're wanting to have a dedicated rod for something. That's the one I'd suggest for just getting into it. Now, if you want to spend a little bit more money, a little bit better product, the Halo HFX series. This is a 7.3 heavy. It's a great option. Halo makes a very great rod for heavy cover. I've owned a lot of the frogging and flipping rods, and they're very good. HFX is light. I mean, feels very comfortable in your hand. You can work the frog really well. It's not an overkill on your wrist when you're working that. You know, you want to be twitching it, not super hard, but you know, you twitch it enough all day. If you're throwing a frog all day long, it can get kind of tiring, so a lighter rod can help with that. But yeah, this one's $150 for the rod, and then this is my favorite reel for frogging, the Shimano Curado 200. It's just a good, I mean, you can bomb that thing out. That reel is so smooth. It's one of the best reels on the market, in my opinion. They're a little over $200, so it's, you know, for the combo is going to be about $360, I believe. So it's a little bit higher, but still a great option for a frog combo. Now the last one I would suggest, you heard me talk a lot about SPRO frogs. So SPRO actually designed a rod about a year or two ago. It's the Bronzeye Frog rod. So Dean Rojas, the guy that designed the SPRO frogs, came out or helped design this rod. It's a 7.2 heavy, just perfect all around SPRO frog rod. 7.2, a little bit shorter, so all around good rod, because it's long enough to where you can throw, or it's short enough to where you can skip. So it's kind of that middle ground in length. But heavy action is definitely what you want. So these rods are very, very good rods. They're made in America. They got Fuji guides on them. So it's great components, very light. So it's a great option there and it's designed specifically for those SPRO frogs. So these are going to be a little bit higher. They're like $260 for the rod, which, I mean, you pick one up and you'll know why. They're very light. It's well worth the money if you're looking for a great rod dedicated for that frog. This one, I put a Shimano Curado DC 200. So the DC helps a lot with casting control. So you throw it out there and sometimes you'll hear that buzzing sound. That's the chip. It's got a little chip inside of it that helps with the casting control. Prevents backlashing a lot more than other reels would, but still that Curado grade is just, I mean, it's a high quality reel that Shimano makes. I believe that reel retails around $260, so it's a $500+ combo there. So, but if you're looking for a high quality rod and reel setup, that's the one I would suggest. And all those are, like I said, 7.2 to 7.4 gear ratio, just that kind of all around. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. That's frog fishing. That's all the different setups. Like I said, you know, it's a lot of different options, but you know, you can still keep it simple with a popping frog and a 7.2 heavy action rod with 50-pound braid. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and comment if there's any questions that you have or any content that you'd like to see. So thank y'all for watching.